Paramahamsa Paripajagacharya Shtottara Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charanarinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki, Prem Se Kaho Si Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Prabhupada Nuga Ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Nindai Gaura Premanande. All glories, assembled devotees, all glories, assembled devotees, all glories, assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Shri Prabhupada. There should be chairs for elderly people, people who cannot sit down, if you are arranging it. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 22. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavadiruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavadina Ishtiki. Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 22. Mat Praptaye Ajesha Sura Suradayas Tapyanta Ugram Tab Aindriyetiyah Rite Bhavat Pada Parayana Namam Vindanti Aham Tvat Hridaya Yato Pachita. Is it displayed here? Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. O Supreme Unconquerable Lord, when they become absorbed in thoughts of material enjoyment, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, as well as other demigods and demons, undergo severe penances and austerities to receive my benedictions. But I do not favor anyone, however great he may be, unless he is always engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Because I always keep you within my heart, I cannot favor anyone but a devotee. You want me to read that again? Or you follow me, repeat after me. O Supreme Unconquerable Lord,
O Supreme Unconquerable Lord,
when they become absorbed in thoughts of material enjoyment, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, as well as other demigods and demons, undergo severe penances and austerities to receive my benediction. But I do not favor anyone, however great he may be, unless he is always engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Because I always keep you within my heart, I cannot favor anyone but a devotee. I will read the shloka again for you. Mat praptaye ajesha sura suradayas tapyanta ugram tapa aindriyetiyah Ride bhavat pada parayana namam vindanti aham tvad hridaya yato jita. Purport. In this verse, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, clearly states that she does not bestow her favor on any materialistic person. Although sometimes a materialist becomes very opulent in the eyes of another materialist, such opulence is bestowed upon him by the goddess Durga Devi, a material expansion of the goddess of fortune, but not by Lakshmi Devi herself. Those who desire material wealth worship Durga Devi with the following mantra: Dhanam Dehi, Rupam Dehi, Rupapati Bhajam Dehi. O worshipable Mother Durga Devi, please give me wealth, strength, fame, good wife, and so on. By pleasing Goddess Durga, one can obtain such benefits. But since they are temporary, they result only in Maya Sukha, illusory happiness. As stated by Prahlada Maharaja, Maya Sukhaya Param Utvagato Vimudhan. Those who work very hard for material benefits are Vimudhas, foolish rascals, because such happiness will not endure. On the other hand, devotees like Prahlad and Dhruva Maharaja achieved extraordinary material opulences. But such opulences were not Maya Sukha. When a devotee acquires unparalleled opulences, they are the direct gifts of the goddess of fortune who resides in the heart of Narayana. The material opulences a person obtains by offering prayers to the goddess Durga are temporary. As described in Bhagavad Gita, Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasam. Men of meager intelligence desire temporary happiness. We have actually seen that one of the disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted to enjoy the property of a spiritual master, and the spiritual master, being merciful towards him, gave him the temporary property, but not the power to preach the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. That special mercy of the power to preach is given to a devotee who does not want anything material from his spiritual master, but wants only to serve him. The story of the demon Ravana illustrates this point. Although Ravana tried to abduct the goddess of fortune Sita Devi from the custody of Lord Ramachandra, he could not possibly do so. The Sita Devi he forcibly took with him was not the original Sita Devi, but an expansion of Maya or Durga Devi. As a result, instead of winning the favor of the real goddess of fortune, Ravana and his whole family were vanquished by the power of Durga Devi. Shrishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnana Tivirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshulum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadadikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakavalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitamatan Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading prayers offered by the residents of Jambudvipa, and we are hearing this very shocking news that Lakshmi Devi does not support anybody who is not a devotee. For us it's not very shocking news, because we know that favor of the Supreme Lord is got through his devotee. And if you want wealth, prosperity for the sake of serving Krishna, sake of serving Narayana, then definitely this operation of Lakshmi Devi, what she is stating, is the way it happens. And she is categorically saying, even if it is Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, if they don't want to serve the Supreme Lord, and they are asking me for benediction, I will not favor them. It's a very strong statement. Only in the Bhagavatam you see these type of statements. And most people don't understand what it means at all, because they are absorbed in other type of activities and it doesn't apply to them, they think. And it is something too exotic, so difficult to understand. I'll settle for the low-hanging fruit, that I do something good, I get some benefit, I look after my material requirements, I go to the temple when required, I pray to the Lord, everything should be alright in my material life, that's it. This is called low-hanging fruit. You know, if you go to pluck fruit in an orchard, the easy thing to pluck is what is very reachable, accessible. And it is easy to pluck the fruit and go home. No shrama, no work to do. So most people get the low-hanging fruit and go back home. That is what Prabhupada is saying. That is Durga Devi's fruit. Lakshmi Devi's expansion for materialistic people. She outsources it, you handle all these people. And you get it from there, low-hanging fruit. But if you want top fruit, Nigama kalpattaror galitam phalam. If you want the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree, which is hanging high, then you have to do a little work. What work is that? You have to understand who is the Supreme Lord. You have to understand how his energies operate. You will have to understand all these things and then correctly put your investment where it should be put. Isn't it? Before you invest, you will study who is giving what, under what situation and circumstances, what conditions, everything. You will study and then only invest. Same way, investing the human form of life carefully, that is what you are supposed to do. That's why you are given brains. Not that you should say the human being is a rational animal. No, he is rational, full stop. If he is rationality, he won't become an animal. You can see this in the life of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. $7 in his moment. The whole world thinks like that, and that's his whole Maya Devi's kingdom. Now the paper has become even finer, became digitized. Then it becomes something even more finer, so it becomes more difficult to control it. Earlier, wealth was not in the form of currency. Wealth was more intangible. Prabhupada mentioned wealth was Gavena Dhanavan, Dhanyena Dhanavan. One who has got cows, one who has got grains, he is wealthy. Material wealthy. One who has got cows and grains. That's why Nanda Maharaj was very wealthy. He had 9 lakh cows. What did he do with the cows? He said, all cows belong to me. No. He was giving it to everybody, all the grains and everything, and all of them were coming and depositing it with him, because he would give it to everybody and distribute it properly. Make sure that everybody is looked after. A good leader can be given all the money in the world. He knows how to spend it in the service of Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj was very rich. Richness means you have Krishna with you and you know how to deal with money. You know how to deal with anything material. You will use everything in the service of Krishna, nothing for my gratification. You don't need it because my security is not coming out of the money. My security is coming out of my love for Krishna. Bhakti is my security. Money follows bhakti. You don't have to go behind money. If you are oriented devotionally, then money is a byproduct. It is true. It is true. Sometimes people will ask you, but then why devotees are all impoverished? Many devotees, if you worship Vishnu, you will not get money. Because you don't need money. You got something more than that. You got bhakti. And you're not asking for money. But when money is required, it comes to you. In the pastime of Sudama, you can see, Krishna did not bother to give money to Sudama. Because Sudama was very rich in bhakti. And that's what he wanted also. His value system was, bhakti is what I need. Love of God is what I need. And he didn't value. But his wife wanted, I know bhakti is of value, but my children and you, every time I see like this, I feel very bad. Because of his wife, who is actually the partner for Sudama, and she desired Krishna gave. Sudama, because he went there, he never asked. What his wife told to ask also, he did not ask there also. He was so enamored by seeing Krishna. That is his value. He doesn't value it. He doesn't value it. I got something far, far greater. And so it became Krishna's responsibility to give him the money, to give him the wealth required for him to lead a good material life. His wife was suffering, children were suffering, and it becomes Krishna's responsibility to look after him. So when he goes back, he sees, wow, palace. He sees a huge palace. His wife is very happy. She's got 57 maids, and she's all dressed up and decked up, and he can't recognize his wife. What happened to you? What happened to you? But his wife is thinking. Wife, it seems, great Acharyas gave this commentary, she starts crying when seeing Sudama. She said, what a wonderful man you are. What a wonderful husband I've got. Right? You value bhakti so much. And you've gone all the way and you got embraced by Krishna because of the value you have. You are so rich that Krishna has embraced you. Kwa ham daridra papiyan, kwa Sri Krishna niketana, brahma bandhu iti smaham bahubhyam parirambita. He's telling Sudama while walking back from there, he's thinking, kwa ham daridra papiyan, who am I? A daridra, poverty-stricken, sinful Brahmana. Kwa Sri Krishna niketana, and who is Krishna? In his chest resides Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Right? What he has done? Brahma Bandhu iti smaham. I am not even a Brahmana. I am a Brahma Bandhu, I am a fallen Brahmana. Bahubhyam parirambita. He came and embraced me tightly. See my fortune. He's thinking like that and going back. He has not asked anything from Krishna. He's thinking, I've got great wealth now. Why? Krishna has embraced me. It's just a value system. What do you think is of value? What do you think is of value? Therefore, wealth follows you. And when he goes and sees, there is a palace. Krishna, Lakshmi has already been told, Rukmini has already been told by Krishna, do the needful. It's not even uttered by Krishna. Rukmini already knows this person has to be looked after. Lakshmi has not even got a petition from Sudama, but she understands immediately what Krishna desires for this person. He is busy with devotion with that person. Both of them will not talk about money, including Krishna. It's my duty to look after her. This is the meaning of this. And she makes sure that by the time Sudama reaches, there's a palace. And his wife is looking at that and thinking, what a wonderful devotee here, Lakshmi has followed you. And then she desires, I also don't want any of these things. It seems she's desiring, I want to embrace you. Because you have been embraced by Krishna. That is her first desire when she sees her husband. Beyond all this dress I am wearing and the ornaments I am wearing and the palace I have and the servant maids I have, she starts crying and says, this is my desire. I want to be embraced by you because you have been embraced by Krishna. This is the difference in the thinking of people who know really what is wealth. Their world is different and they don't care about not having wealth. It doesn't affect them. But we watch them and say, hey, what do you have with you? You have nothing with you. You have no value. It doesn't matter that you don't have value. Krishna has value. So what makes a person wealthy is according to the value systems established by Krishna. That is diametrically opposite to what we think is wealth. So in that system of values, wealth follows a person who has the richest commodity, love of Krishna. Wealth follows. Lakshmi follows to serve him, a pure devotee of the Lord. That is why Prabhupada went with $7. That is secondary. When asked how to collect funds, Prabhupada is known to have said, Lakshmi, money is everywhere, he said. You must know the art of getting it. He said you must know the art of getting it. Never bothered about money. You must know the art of getting it. And then he said, you should go and capture Sita from Ravana and bring back Sita for the service of Ramachandra. That is called collection, he said. He said, go and rescue Sita from the hands of Ravana, bring it for the service of Narayana. He said, that is fundraising. That is collection. Because we are not going to use it for anything else. So it's such a deep understanding. We are not simply beggars going and collecting money. We are giving you an opportunity to serve Krishna. The wealth that you have doesn't belong to you. It belongs to Narayana. We can't talk like this. But nobody will give you money. We have to say, you are so great, you are wonderful, you have built this place, you are the richest man, everybody respects you, you are the topmost man, you are that, you are this, everything. Then only he will give the money. In this way, we have to work for him doing devotional service for Narayana sometimes. But it's okay. So when people don't give money, you should not feel bad. It's very unfortunate. He's not able to give money for Narayana. That's the real thinking. You see how exotic is the understanding. That is why fundraising is a very deep service. Don't think that fundraising is simply some ordinary thing that we are doing. Many people think that I don't want to go and beg money. If you think like that, you will remain a beggar only. What you're actually doing, Prabhupada mentioned, is bringing Sita, bringing Lakshmi back to Narayana. It's not an ordinary event. This is a Bhagavata's understanding. Everything is on a different level of understanding in the Bhagavatam. If you think in a normal way, you'll fall into the Durga Devi understanding. And then you'll fight. You'll fight for wealth, you'll fight for name, you'll fight for position, you'll make everything mundane. Your devotional service will become mundane. To remain on the platform of understanding what Lakshmi Devi is saying here, I do not favor those people who don't serve Krishna. So this is guarantee that if you are serving Krishna, you are already favored. It is just that you have to go and do the job. Prabhupada just said, oh, I don't have to worry about it. He didn't worry about money much. But that does not mean that he thought that, anything, you could have pastimes of Prabhupada were completely surrendered to Krishna. I've cited this to you before that initially he became a sannyasi. He left his house and he was wanting to bring the back to Godhead. So he was collecting funds for that. And the pastime of he going from the mud to a rich man's house and waiting near the gate with this thing above his head because of the sun and chanting Hare Krishna and waiting. And that Gaudiya Math devotee is going in the cycle to the market to buy vegetables for the deity. So he's saying, Abhay, Maharaj, what are you doing here? I'm waiting for this man, he's going to give money for back to Godhead. So he goes to the market, comes back after 1 hour, he's still waiting. So he said, why are you waiting here like this? You are a sannyasi and you are... No, I am serving Krishna. He will give money. I can use it for producing. So he becomes struck by the sincerity of Prabhupada. He says, you please don't stand here. I will give you. How much he is going to give you? 5 rupees. Those days, 5 rupees is very big. 5 rupees is very big. He said, you please come with me. I will give you that 5 rupees. So he sit in the cycle on the backside, I'll take you. Then before sitting, Prabhupada is laying one more condition. Can you give me 10 rupees? Then he said, okay, I'll give you. Please sit down. Don't stand here. As soon as he said yes, no, Prabhupada tried to make the best out of it. Give me 10 rupees. He said, okay, I'll give you. This way, it's not that Prabhupada, Lakshmi will give me anything, I'll not do anything, I just have to sit down and snore. The money will fall down from the sky. No, labor is required from our side. Although Lakshmi is with you, going to favor you, for you as a sadhaka, you should labor to get it. Prabhupada need not labor. But you should labor because you are a sadhaka. So you are given an opportunity by Prabhupada to go and petition somebody. I am serving Krishna. I need this money. I am doing this building here. We need this thing. Can you give? You will see Krishna is in the heart of everybody. He will definitely influence that person. Because there's no other goal. It's not on the basis of you being an expert collector that you're getting the money. Which is also a factor. That is a part of your service. But the person is actually giving because inspired by Lakshmi. Inspired by the Supreme Lord. I must do. And he does. So there is something mystical happening there. It is not just you alone. But you, for your purification, it's happening through you. And you have that opportunity of doing it. That is the important thing to understand. Because this is a guarantee of Lakshmi Devi. So people see you in different ways. But you must understand this. And we are just serving the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada is asking for his first printing of Krishna book. It's very interesting. Prabhupada wants to print the Krishna book. He has written the summary of the whole 10 cantos in beautiful story format. He's telling Shyam Sundar, get this, go and speak to George Harrison and tell him to donate the money for printing this Krishna book. So Shyam Sundar, how can I ask him? It will cost a lot of money. It may cost him $10,000 or something to print it. How can I ask George? I just asked him for, he gave us the altar for putting the deity. But Prabhupada is saying, how can I not go? But he did not want to go and ask. Because just now he asked and he gave for altar some wood and something. That is actually nothing. But Prabhupada is saying, go and ask. He will give. But he is very reluctant to ask. So, many times you don't want to go and collect. How can I go and ask? How? It will not happen. The sun is so bad. The crow is flying in the sky. It is cloudy. There is no Viriksha. There is no more this thing. And then all sorts of things, it comes up in the head. So he was thinking it will not happen. How can I go and ask? But Prabhupada said, I must do it. This was another thing. He was very sincere. There must be something in it. He went, planned very well. He goes and meets, I fully forget the details. He goes and meets George Harrison. I think they have prasadam together or something. Then he said, Prabhupada has asked me to ask you whether you can fund the printing of the Krishna book. And then George Harrison looks at him like that. Funding the printing of the Krishna book? And he doesn't say anything. And then he says, my gosh, God, see. I told him, he didn't say anything. He just takes prasad and he leaves and all that. And he tells one word, I'll think about it and tell you. Little relief he got. What will happen now? And then the next dialogue is, he comes and gives the money for Prabhupada's book. And he's very stunned, Shyam Sundar. My gosh! And he goes and tells Prabhupada, Prabhupada says, yes, now you can print the book. And then Prabhupada, famously releases it in this thing. People buy. Prabhupada says, sell it. This newly released book, the crowd, Prabhupada sells the books. Each person $5, $10, I don't know what number. Ecstatic. Got the money. Prabhupada said, we'll go and ask him. That's it. Prabhupada knows he will give. You go and ask him. And he gave. And the Krishna book got printed. You will see in the front from Apple, George Harrison is written. That foreword is written by George Harrison. You must know that what a big service he did. Similarly, Prabhupada respected George Harrison very much for this service. Same way, Prabhupada was very much in need of money. Money was coming somehow or the other, and Prabhupada was just waiting from where it will come, like that. His disciple Jayananda, You know, we put on our Ratham every time Jayananda's picture. I don't know whether we do it. Prabhupada said that put his picture always on the chariot. Passed away. In 1977, May, somewhere he passed away. And Prabhupada instantly said, he's one of my most favorite disciples. One of my most dear disciples, one of the most dear disciple of mine. You should observe this day as his passing day. So even today in the Vaishnava calendar you will see Jayananda Thakur, Avirbhav Tithi, it will be written. Why? He was a taxi driver, very good looking, handsome looking person, but very sincere. And Prabhupada knew a devotee sent by my spiritual master for me. He would give money to Prabhupada, all his earning. When Prabhupada needed it most, he came and gave Prabhupada $5,000. It's just a taxi driver. He gave $5,000 to Prabhupada. Prabhupada remembered that. He keeps on talking about it. You'll see in his conversations. Jayananda gave me that. And he most needed it to establish his movement. Give. So, Lakshmi and how Lakshmi comes in helps a devotee to make Narayana famous, to make Krishna famous. It's a whole deep personal thing. It is not that we don't have the money. It is that we don't have the bhakti enough to attract the money. It's being waited upon. Money, Lakshmi, follows devotion, follows wherever there is sincere service for Narayana. And we can understand from this Sudama's pastime and these various pastimes of Prabhupada. So, we should always be concerned about how we will be pure devotees of Krishna. At the same time, we should endeavor for getting the money. Both are very closely related. Very closely related. And there's a dynamics that happens. That is exhibited here very deeply by Lakshmi Devi, who is saying, I won't favor anybody who is not serving Krishna. I don't sit with them. I allow Durga Devi to sit with them. She keeps jumping. Will not sit in one place. Wealth will never sit in one place. Today we are seeing whole country is talking about one person who is got so many money and it is just disappeared like that. Boom. It's a mystical thing actually. Some people so rich and all of a sudden they become a pauper. It's Lakshmi Devi doing it. It's Lakshmi Devi's expansion, Durga Devi doing it. He become a pauper. But a pauper like Sudama becomes rich for no reason. He didn't invest in stocks and shares, he didn't invest in shipping or anything. He just invested in Krishna. And Lakshmi follows him. And Lakshmi follows him. This does not mean that you should leave your family and all come and say, I have come here fully to join the movement. No, you should do what you're supposed to do according to your duty, endeavor, and do the needful. But you should not be worried when you don't get it. That's what Krishna, this is prayasa. Because you lose your bhakti. If you unnecessarily endeavor for something material that you're not getting, then you're not getting. You understand this is Krishna's plan. This does not mean you stop endeavoring. You not unnecessarily endeavor and hanker and be anxious and everything. That's what is the meaning of that. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha. Unnecessary endeavor is not required. So you see, I did not come, I left my job and everything and I came to serve Krishna. I was also somewhere sitting in Raja Street in some small dumpy place where you don't have a place to take bath or something. And I was often thinking, I made a very big mistake. I don't have a place to take bath. I have to cook my own food. My gosh, what have I done with my life? Many times I was thinking that I'll go back and take a job and live in style, which I was doing before. But I knew there is some greater purpose. And from a Raja Street in a no place, we are sitting in a big place, which is worth crores of rupees. And sometimes people wonder, looking at me, it's not belong to me, belong to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. But அதுக்குள்ள நீங்க எப்படி how did you happen to be the person there? It's the same story. It's the story only. It happens in every devotee's life. It's happening in every devotee's life. It's true. I know this is true by my own experience. And in Prabhupada's life history, if you read it, is true. I may be here, I may not be here, but Lakshmi will continue to give and it may go up, it will become a temple because that is the purpose. That's the ultimate purpose. Human society should focus like this. Then Lakshmi will follow you. Prosperity follows service to Krishna. That is the central theme of economy. If the economy is based on not serving Krishna, it will definitely crash. It will repeatedly crash. It will be a fluctuating economy forever. Not just once or twice. That's what we are trying to set up in Prabhupada's movement. We are trying to set up the most stable economy ever. Talk of money, I think from the Bhagavatam we can talk much more. Money follows service to Krishna. That is why the Raja Rishis and all those great people did not go around looking for money. They were all fixed in Krishna. They were leading the citizens to become devotees of the Lord. And money came to look after whatever is necessary. That's a simple thing we have to understand. Because money is under the control of Lakshmi. It's not your Khandan, your grandfather's property, actually. That we should understand very well. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittai Gaur Premanande. Yeah.
Maharaj, it was very surprising that Prabhupada went to America with very few dollars, $7. But I was still more surprised that Prabhupada didn't spend that there.
He told once, when they said something, I said, give my $7 back, I'm going back, he said. Jokingly. He didn't spend that. It is an exhibit somewhere. Yeah.
But generally, material well-being follows spiritual well-being.
Pardon?
Material well-being follows spiritual well-being.
Okay.
Sometimes the problems in the community, or is it because of lack of Krishna consciousness, adequate Krishna consciousness?
That's what we can understand. That's what we should understand. We should always see that Krishna is prodding us, using our material situation to accept and surrender more. So, that is the way to look at it. If Krishna desires what is money and what is all that, this really doesn't matter. What matters for Krishna is that you become a devotee. Manmana bhava matbhaktaha matyaji mam namaskaram. Everything he does is oriented towards that. That's the sole purpose. And if you're directly engaged in that, why you need to worry about anything else? Bhagavad Gita is saying this throughout. Bhagavatam is saying this throughout. And here is a Bhagavata, Prabhupada. He lived his life like that and showed it. And many people are doing that in the Krishna conscious movement in various places, preaching Krishna consciousness, and it's their experience also. Any other question or comment?
If a devotee gets back a lot of money, there is a high chance of falling again in material.
If he is a sadhaka who is not yet purified, then there is a good chance he will get tempted. Therefore, please, whoever the devotee is telling to give the money to me, I'll keep it for him. We need it. We'll give it to him later. Any other question or comment? Yeah.
In yesterday's Bhagavatam class in Mayapur, Rameshwar Prabhu, BBP, he was telling the example of how 4 devotees were assigned to train in the Krishna book. So they said that they want to take training from some Italian institute. Prabhupada said, don't just chant. And it seems the paintings are so beautiful. Over a period of 6 months, they finished the required paintings just by chanting. They got the inspiration and the knowledge and the skill to do it just by chanting for 6 months. He said it's a miracle.
So, the instruction of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, if you have faith in it and if you follow it, you get the final result. That's the lesson. Prabhupada called those paintings the windows to the spiritual world, because they are done with bhakti. They are done by chanting Hare Krishna, like you said, under the order of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Our movement should be conducted under the instructions of the Acharya, the founder Acharya. You may think some of those things are impossible. No, you just start doing it, they become possible. Prabhupada has not given any instruction that is not possible. If he had thought like that, then the instruction given by his guru was actually impossible for him. But he attempted it, and it became possible. So we should go by the instructions of Prabhupada. He has written it in his books. His life history speaks that loudly. And we should endeavor to correctly understand what it is in the association of devotees and not interpret it and speculate on it. And execute it with success. The Krishna conscious movement is already designed for success. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. It's based on glorifying Krishna. If you glorify Krishna, you will be successful. That's all. Economy is based on that. You have to glorify Krishna. Why can't the conditioned soul just do that? What's your loss? There's no loss. There's only gain.
Prabhupada, whatever Prabhupada says, he says this is a fact. But for us, it's a question of belief. The gap between
Faith.
Belief to, fact. Prabhupada says it's a fact. All things are a fact, he says. Because he knows, but for some of us, he's just trying to believe it. And for us, it's not a fact, like this.
Why it is like that? Why it is not a fact for you and for Prabhupada, it is a reality.
The conditioning.
That is the difference between a conditioned soul and a liberated person. Under Maya Shakti, this is not real. You are not in reality. That's the difference. And Prabhupada said they did not land on the moon. It was not reality for many of his followers. Because they were thinking, I'm American. So it didn't become a reality. Later it has become a reality now that they never landed on the moon, maybe. Mostly. Many things that Prabhupada said that time, it was sounding very odd. But people were going along because it was fun and it was nice hearing all these nice things about life and everything. But it's not that everything was believed. But over a period of time, you start believing and understanding. Because it opens up by your Krishna conscious progress. It opens up and you expand your faith in the words of a pure devotee. Om Tat Sat. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittaya Gaura Premanande.